He was my everything. Know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. Millisecond. Completely just changed my whole life.
So R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, whose real name is Joanne Kelly, she spoke out in support of her father's accusers in a lengthy Instagram post. So she claims to be devastated.
And today R. Kelly was sentenced to prison for his many crimes against underage girls.
Nobody wants to be the child of the father that is out here hurting women and children.
We go, everything we do, it's always gonna have some type of like double meaning under it, or someone's gonna read between lines that aren't there.
He knows exactly why we can't have the relationship that we would have liked to have with him.
Just because you're not a good husband doesn't mean you can't be a good father. And the fact that he didn't even try. What he did to me, he did to me. But you didn't have to do it to my damn kids.
Just days after the U.S. Supreme Court turned down R. Kelly's appeal regarding his 20-year federal conviction linked to child pornography and his exploitation of underage girls, the disgraced rap singer's daughter has opened up about her own experiences. The eldest daughter of the age ain't nothing but a number. And his ex-wife, Drew Kelly, who is also known as Joanne Kelly, has come forward to share that her father molested her. A mother and daughter are set to appear in a new docuseries called R. Kelly's Karma, a daughter's journey where Buku shares her experience of how the convicted SF offender touched her inappropriately. Linking a clip from the first episode, the growing up says in a darkly lit room, "He was my everything. For a long time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened.
He was my everything. For a long time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened.
I didn't notice it. Even if he was a bad person that he would do something to me," she continued before adding, "I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to tell my mom."
I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me.
When the Neighborhood Talk shared a clip from the documentary, fans were really upset and jumped in, expressing their disgust that Kelly's crimes might have even involved his own kids. While a lot of the comments were focused on praying for the daughter's healing, there were also many that questioned Drea's role in protecting her kids from the SCX predator, making digs at her decision to keep R. Kelly's last name. This Twitter was her mother, IDC. What nobody say the mamas be knowing, one person wrote. This is so heartbreaking. R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, born Joanne Kelly, is opening up about the abuse she experienced at the hands of her father at a young age. In a new documentary, R. Kelly's Karma, A Daughter's Journey, Buku recalls when R. Kelly snuck into her room when she was about 8 or 9, touched her inappropriately, completely altering her life. I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had and the light I used to carry, she says. After I told my mom I didn't go over there anymore, my brother Robert and sisters, Jay, we didn't go over there anymore. And even up until now, I struggle with it a lot.
I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person.
I just remember waking up to him touching me. She recalls crying, and I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of laid there and I pretended to be asleep. When Buku did eventually tell her mother, Dre Kelly, they attempted to file an anonymous police report under Jane Doe, but they allegedly didn't prosecute him because the statute of limitations had passed. So at that point in my life, I felt like I said something for nothing. Kelly's lawyer made a statement to people following the premiere of the documentary. Mr. Kelly vehemently denies these allegations. His ex-wife made the same allegation years ago. And it was investigated by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services and was unfounded. And the filmmakers, whoever they are, did not reach out to Mr. Kelly or his team to even allow him to deny these hurtful claims. I'm just comment read to each his own, but if I was a mother, I would not be carrying his last name, especially if he touched our child I don't give a damn what so-called opportunities come behind having the last name. It's not worth it if the last name tied to abuse and sexual abuse. Wow, Andrea is still back there singing his songs. Will did someone else chimed in. A Florida comment said they should play this in the prison and let all the inmates see. When some comments suggested they didn't believe R. Kelly's daughter, one person mentioned only God knows the truth. And if it is true, not everyone feels comfortable speaking about their abuse until they feel the time is right. Absolutely. If it's not true, God will handle it. So, this is the first time she's opened up about this incest publicly. According to People magazine, Buku actually found the courage to tell her mom back in 2009 when she was just 10, and that was after the couple had divorced. Yes, the couple split in 2005, with Dre seeking an order of protection, and their marriage officially ended 4 years later, as reported by Essence. Buku Abia mentions that Dre would eventually take her child to the police to file a complaint under the name Jane Doe. But since she mentioned that the assault occurred a few years ago, law enforcement informed the family that they couldn't prosecute him. The mother decided to stop the kids' visits to his place. I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had and the light I used to carry. IBA recalls. After I told my mom I didn't go over there anymore. My brother Robin and sister Jay, we didn't go over there anymore. And even up until now, I struggle with it a lot.
I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person.
Abby explained in the second episode that her father started touching her when she was 8 or 9 years old, claiming that she would be asleep in bed and wake up to the I Believe I Can Fly singer touching her. I just remember waking up to him touching me. I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of laid there and I pretended to be asleep, she said in the documentary. Buku mentioned that she won't take her son to see his granddad in prison. During her sit-down with Osei on the Culture Club Uncensored, Dre shared that she hadn't spoken to Kelly in about a decade. When asked how he was a dad, Dre was quick to say horrible, noting that the singer confused being a provider with being a father.
Now with the children, how was he as a father?
Horrible.
Really?
I mean, I think that men in a position of power confuse being a provider with being a father.
During an interview, she hinted at the gap between him and the kids, suggesting that he was too caught up with work to spend time with them. Osei brought up the topic of the adult children's relationship with their father following his conviction, and the choreographer responded, I really don't know. They're adults now. I'd have stepped away, she explained. When Robert Jr. turned 18, I was like, whatever you decide from this point, if you want to call him, you don't have to get permission. If you want to go visit him in jail, you don't have to get my permission. You're a young adult now. That is up to you.
People, I really don't know. They're adults now. I have stepped away when Robert Jr. turned 18. I was like, whatever you decide from this point, if you want to call him, you don't have to get permission. If you want to go visit him in jail, you don't have to get my permission. You're a young adult now. That is up to you. But I've always been that mother that I knew how to separate him not being a good husband and the relationship with him and his children as their father.
The longtime dancer feels that being Kelly's ex-wife is a different experience compared to being one of his children, which makes it easier for her to separate from him. They share DNA, she mentioned. Dre, who says she keeps her ex-husband's name for the sake of her kids, has shared her thoughts on her daughter's recent allegations in the documentary, expressing pride in her daughter. Did I say, I am proud of Joanne Ariella Kelly, does no justice for your level of bravery and courage, Buku. Abby, you're a voice for the voiceless. For those that are told you should be seen and not heard you speak, Dre wrote in the comment section of a post promoting the series, keep going and never look back, pretty face. Your sister brother are your team captains, and I will be your cheerleader until my last breath. Because of you, I am a survivor. I owe my life to you. I love you with my whole heart. Kelly, however, through his legal team, has issued a statement to people denying the accusations. Mr. Kelly vehemently denies these allegations. His wife made the same allegation years ago and was investigated by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services and was unfounded. And then the filmmakers, whoever they are, did not reach out to Mr. Kelly or his team to even allow him to deny these hurtful claims. Attorney Jennifer Bonjen stated, Kelly is doing a total of 31 years in prison right now. A federal judge handed down a 20-year prison sentence to the Pied Piper of Reb for child pornography and for luring minors for sex, which included his 14-year-old goddaughter. Many of his crimes came to light in the 6-part docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, which uncovered decades of alleged sexual misconduct and abuse involving underage girls and young women of color. The court decided that almost all of the prison sentence, except for 1 year, would be served at the same time as a previous 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking from his 2021 case in Brooklyn. You can check out the 2-episode R. Kelly's Karma, A Daughter's Journey, on the TVI streaming network.